Real Virginia is proudly produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. Since 1926, Farm Bureau has been working to preserve Virginia farms and our rural heritage. Visit our website at vafarmbureau.org.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Real Virginia, a program about Virginia agriculture and the people who bring you all of the wonderful local products that we enjoy, brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau.
We visit a beautiful part of Virginia where fruit growers have banded together to market their healthy, delicious produce. Chef Maxwell shows us how to make pickles. And with our weeds, you may now find hungry goats ready for the dinner bell.
Welcome back to Real Virginia, everyone. We're coming to you today from the Meat Goat Unit at Virginia State University's Randolph Farm, and that's where they're studying how to make these goats more productive for farmers. And we're going to talk to you more about goats in just a minute. But first, we're going to talk tourism. And the mountains of Nelson and Amherst County are beautiful tourist attractions. Dave Miller reports there are now 11 more reasons to visit the region, especially in the summer and fall.
The Blue Ridge Fruit Loop is not a breakfast cereal, but it does have all the delicious qualities of fresh fruit. Developed by the Nelson County Department of Economic Development, the Fruit Loop is a clever promotional website that has become an effective way for fruit growers in Nelson County and Amherst counties to sell their products direct to the consumer, without a middleman. This way, they can ask higher prices than selling wholesale.
It's a great idea. It helps. Most of us here were in wholesale production, mainly for apples. This Fruit Loop and marketing enables us to sell at a retail price. It helps get people out to see where the fruit is actually grown, and they can have buy it at our farm stands, or many of us have pick-your-own operations.
BlueRidgeFruitLoop.net launched in 2015. It features 11 orchards and berry operations in the two counties and updates visitors on what crops are ready to pick and when, as well as sharing information about festivals and other fun family events in the region. It's another tool for growers to bring folks to the farm.
The second weekend in September and the second weekend in October, we have Pick Your Own Apples, and this Fruit Loop gets people out to the country so that we can have more, people don't know where apples are grown. They don't know when they get ripe. So that gets kids out here, picking apples off a tree, and it's a wonderful thing when somebody says, that's the best apple I've ever had. I didn't know apples tasted that good. And to get people out in that time of year, it's a family thing. They come out, have a picnic.
Tommy Bruguiere is a seventh-generation farmer here, which was originally a land grant from the King of England in 1750. His family has been raising apples since the mid-1800s. The Fruit Loop helps his family keep their farming tradition going.
We're born to the land, and we just like to be, this is what we enjoy doing. I could do numerous other things, and as well as a lot of these other growers, but this is what we want to do.
John Saunders of Silver Creek Orchards sells early apples such as Ginger Gold beginning in late July and then on to Gala, Red Delicious, and Golden Delicious as the varieties mature. Later in the season, he has Fuji and Pink Lady varieties, plus some new ones like Gold Rush and Sweet Cheeks in October. He also grows apple varieties specifically for cider making, plus plenty of other fruit for customers to pick and take home.
Peaches bloom 2 weeks before apples. So you got to put the peaches on your best sites on your farm so they won't get frosted. They won't have a frost problem. So peaches, we grow wine grapes. We have a lot of wine grapes. We sell them to other wineries in Virginia. We grow a few plums, Asian pears, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. There's small, not a lot, but a few of all of those.
Drive through these mountainous counties and you're bound to see pick your own fruit signs, but you don't need to be in your car to see these opportunities for family fun. The Blue Ridge Fruit Loop makes that information available to everyone right at home. It's an invitation to visit the countryside and bring home the freshest fruit possible, right from the farm. In Nelson County, Virginia, I'm Dave Miller.
Summertime means peach season in the Old Dominion. Virginia is the 9th largest peach-producing state. More than 1,700 acres of peaches are raised on orchards on 430 farms. That's 57 more farms than a decade ago. The great majority of Virginia peaches are raised near Virginia's Piedmont and other hill country areas, where orchards can be planned to avoid freeze risks in late spring. The crop is a valuable one for growers. Most years, peaches bring in almost $3 million in cash receipts. And like all farmers, peach growers are concerned about honeybee losses in recent years. Bees are an essential pollinator for peaches and all tree fruit.
Hi, today we're going to be talking about cucumbers from the ground up. Please stay tuned.
From our farms to your table. Virginia dairy farm families are dedicated to providing your family with nutritious, high-quality milk.
I'm Dan Myers, a fifth-generation dairy farmer from Virginia.
I'm Roy Vanderhyde, a first-generation dairy farmer from Virginia.
I'm Gerald Heatwolf, a third-generation dairy farmer from Virginia.
I am dedicated to dairy, my cows,
My milk.
And our land.
Cucumbers are relatively easy plants for the home gardener. Chris Mullins with the Virginia Cooperative Extension has some tips on improving your production from the ground up.
Hi, today we're in Richmond, Virginia. We're in an urban area, and we're at RVA's Urban Ag Farm, and we're here with Amy Wildermann. Amy is the farm manager here, the urban farm manager, and this is all part of TRICYCLE Garden.
Yep.
In the Richmond area.
Yep.
Tell me what y'all do.
So TRICYCLE Gardens is a local nonprofit, and we grow healthy food, healthy communities, and a healthy local food system.
Okay.
So we grow good food, we educate people about growing food, we have a farmer training program, and we get good food into the food deserts of Richmond through a corner store program.
So the corner store program, that's you actually take food into areas where they may not have access to fresh produce and things like that.
Exactly, and we partner with corner store owners so that they can carry fresh produce. We do tastings, we give out recipes, and help the community understand what to do with the fresh produce they now have access to.
Oh, that's an excellent program. So you've got several farms in the Richmond area and in the city itself,
Yep, right in the
and this is one of them. And I can see that you've got so much growing here, so many different things. And one of the things we wanted to talk about was cucumbers.
Yep.
So, all right, so let's go and see your cucumbers and how you grow them, okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks. Well, I think cucumbers can be a great crop for the home gardener. You agree?
Agreed.
I mean, it's nice to be able to have, slicing cucumbers in the summertime. And this is a great cucumber patch you've got here. We're in a high tunnel, but it's the same kind of practices you'd use outside to grow them, right?
Yeah.
Now, they look good. How'd you get these started?
So we started them from seed. Cucumbers and a lot of the squash family really like to be started from seed, and it's cheaper that way. You don't have to buy transplants. So yeah, we just started them from seed in the ground.
Okay. I noticed now cucumbers will spread all over the place. Now, how are you handling all that? You've got a trellis system.
So this is our trellis system here. We use T-posts zip tied to cattle fencing, and that works really well. You can also buy very simple pre-made trellises at the garden store if you just have a couple plants. But I do recommend getting the trellises in before you seed, so then the plants don't get disturbed as you're putting the trellis down.
It makes sense. Do that almost ahead of time. Yeah. And a little bit of training, but I noticed the tendrils really grab on, don't they? Yeah, and so you just train them a little bit, and they'll just go right up.
Yep, exactly. So sometimes they'll lean out like this, so I usually just come through and very gently bring them through, and then they'll start grabbing on and take care of it themselves.
So at the end of the growing season, you'll just have a wall of cucumbers,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
Well, that-
More than you probably want.
That is great. Now, you know, I know there's been some gardeners out there that have had trouble with disease problems with cucumbers before. How do you all handle that? Because I know you grow things organically and you don't spray pesticides. How do you handle that?
So the way we handle it is we do what's called succession planting, meaning that we plant in succession. So we plant cucumbers in different places about 2-3 weeks apart, so that if these cucumbers here, I should say when these cucumbers succumb to the fungal diseases that they do get, we're able to just take them out, cut our losses, and we've got another patch that's ready to go. So
That's great.
if folks have enough space to plan them out, we actually have 4 or 5 successions in a summer.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, great. Cucumbers are great. A little bit of watering. I notice you've got a drip irrigation system.
Yeah, and that's
Water
another
down
thing that will help with disease and fungus is we have drip irrigation, so we water only on the soil. Our cucumbers are protected in the high tunnel, but if you have them at home and they're not protected, just do your best to water at the ground level. Cucumber, if you help keep their leaves dry, they won't get the fungus problems.
Well, that's great. So some good tips here. How to trellis them. A great way to trellis them. I really like this. And maybe some succession planting to kind of keep that disease problem away, and drip irrigation. Well, Amy, thank you so much for letting us come here to this wonderful garden you've got here, right in an urban, loud environment, but it's great with residents all around. This is really an oasis here in the city.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Thank you.
Very much. Well, for more information about cucumber production, please contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins, and we'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu. Ever wonder what to do with all those cucumbers? Chef Maxwell shows us how to make pickles next, in the heart of the home. 90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they'd worked so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, but the original promise remains. There's a local Farm Bureau in every county of the state. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Visit our websites at farmbureauadvantage.com and vafarmbureau.org.
Boating under the influence is illegal no matter where you boat. Law enforcement officers will be conducting heightened enforcement patrols during Operation Drywater, looking for boaters who are boating under the influence. Alcohol is the leading contributing factor in recreational boating deaths. Stay safe, stay sober, never boat under the influence.
Cucumbers are the third most popular vegetable raised in Virginia, behind tomatoes and sweet corn. Cukes are raised on 584 farms in the Old Dominion, and almost all of them are sold fresh to consumers at farmers markets. The majority of these farms have less than an acre of cucumbers planted. Farmers and home gardeners alike can testify that cucumbers are an easy plant to grow and can be very prolific. But like many plants in the cucumber family, they can be affected by disease and insects. So growers have to pay extra attention to their cucumber plants to catch problems early.
Preserving foods has a long history in Virginia kitchens. Today, Chef John Maxwell shows us just how easy it is to pickle cucumbers in the heart of the home, courtesy of our friends at Relay Foods.
Hi, and welcome to Heart of the Home. We're here at Meadow Hall at Meadow Event Park in Doswell, Virginia. And we're going to play with some great stuff. We always do play with lots of good food from our local farmers. Today we've got a very interesting recipe. We're going to be making some bread and butter pickles. And we've got all of this stuff came to us from Relay Foods, and I wanted to call your attention to this. This is turmeric. You can get some really neat stuff, but turmeric is what really makes this pickle. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the ends off the pickles, right, so that I can get just straight slices. And I'm going to cut each of these into a slice of between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. You need to be kind of thick. If you cut them too thin, right, they'll get mushy when you cook them. Right. We're just going to throw these in here. They're decent sized chunks, right? But what we're going to do next is sprinkle them with a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar. So we get some salt and some sugar. All right, and we're going to toss them up a little bit. All right, now these are just going to set off to the side, uncovered, for 6 to 8 hours. Right? So we're going to put those over there. Now I did some earlier, right, and I've got them here so you can see what happens when they've had a chance to set. I can pour that into here so you can see how much liquid was leached out of these cucumbers. So now they're a little bit on the soft side, but they're still crispy. Right? So we've got that over here. Turn the stove on, right, and throw these pickles, or these cucumbers, down in here. Right? A little bit of onions. And I didn't put it in the picture, but I had to put the onions in with the cucumbers and the salt and sugar as well. Right. Now I'm going to take some vinegar and some sugar, a couple of cups of sugar. Right. And again, that's going to get stirred up good, and we're going to bring that up to a simmer so that the sugar all melts. All right. And I'm going to add some celery seed and some, that was mustard seed, a little celery seed also. All right. Some black peppercorn, some cinnamon, and this little jewel, which is turmeric. One of the things I like about Relay Foods, which is where we get all of our food for the show, is that they've got some interesting organic products that you can't just get everywhere. All right? So this is turmeric. You've probably seen it powdered or granulated. And I'm just going to run it on my rasp a little bit, all right, to get it small. And this is the key, just like a box grater. The key is to keep your knuckles from getting into the soup. Right? So I'm going to add this to there. Right? Stir this around. Now, we do not want to bring this to a boil. We just want to bring this up to a simmer and then cool it down. Okay, this pickle mixture has now just come up to a simmer, getting a little bit of bubbles popping in here. Right? I'm going to cut the heat down some to make sure it doesn't overcook, and just let it cook for about, maybe 10 minutes, just enough to make sure that all the flavors get into the pickle. And we're going to show you how we can store these. Right? Now you can put them in here when they're hot, and then put them in the refrigerator, or put them in the refrigerator in a larger container, which is what I did. Now, as you can see, we're not canning these. This is not a sterilization process with heat and the rest of that. These are pickled, which is a different process altogether, but it's just as safe. These will last 6 months in the refrigerator without too much trouble because of the acid level that's in these. It's very much vinegary product. All right, so we've got bread and butter pickles. Delicious. This recipe comes to me from my mother, God rest her soul. She used to make these pickles regularly. I hope she's not listening, because these are actually better than hers. She had a tendency to overcook. So we'll see you again next time when we're here at Meadow Hall, Meadow Event Park in Doswell, Virginia, where we get a chance to play with some great products from local farmers that comes to us through Relay Foods. See you next time.
Recipes from the heart of the home can be found on the Relay Foods website at relayfoods.com.
There are 30,000 roadway accidents each year involving cars and farm machinery. Farmers will be moving equipment for planting and harvest season. The slow-moving vehicle triangle in red and fluorescent orange colors and flashing lights allow for quick identification. When you see an SMV sign on farm equipment, slow down, prepare for sudden stops and slow turns.
Patience will save lives. Just remember, we all need to share the road, we all need to be responsible, and we need to be guided by the law.
Motor vehicle safety starts with you.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
It can really be a chore to clear brush and weeds from your lawn or your property. But Sherri McKinney reports for goats, that's like a working vacation with an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Instead of a dinner bell, the hum of a weed eater cutting down overgrown areas is a signal that it's dinner time. This goat herd, owned by Jace Goodling, knows the sound of chainsaws and weed whackers means one of their meals is in the works, and they are ready to eat.
I run a business called Goat Busters, which is a land clearing and brush clearing business where we employ our herd of Kiko goats. We enclose them with an electrified net fence, battery powered, charged with usually a 3-joule charger, and fence them in the target area and let them go at it. Keep them in there till they're done, till they've eaten all that they'll eat.
Overgrown wooded areas are like candy to a goat. This New Zealand breed of goats will plow through even the most weed-choked jungle in a matter of days. Goodling, a custom home builder by trade, started his clearing business in 2008 when the building industry took a nosedive. There were still bills to pay, so his kids got to work.
We have had all sizes of jobs. The smallest job that we've done was a city backyard that was probably about 25 feet by 80 feet. And the largest is one that we're working on right now in Birmingham, Alabama, that's 750 acres. So we'll take anything large or small. They'll eat around for about 2 hours, and then they'll lay down, they'll nap, they'll chew their cud, rest, and then after a couple hours they'll get up again. And they'll do that around the clock. They'll do that all night long. So sometimes it's surprising to see how much progress they get done overnight.
While goats will eat just about anything, few goat producers have been able to turn their incredible appetites into a profitable business. Goodling has customers throughout Central Virginia and many other states. The goats are not only an easy solution to a tough landscape issue, but they can improve the surrounding environment.
Goats provide the clearing that every other process would provide, but while they're doing that, they're also fertilizing as they go along. So every pound of vegetative matter that they eat gets turned into fertilizer, and they spread that around as they go around. Being lightweight, cloven-hooved animals, they actually work that manure into the soil and enrich the soil as they're going along.
The cost for clearing using Goodling's Goat Busters varies, but most jobs come in under $1,000. For Goodling, these go-anywhere, eat-anything goats are the best employees he has ever had.
They're great, and there are no child labor laws. They're born on the job and start working right away.
And they work sun up to sundown, I'm sure.
They work around the clock, past sundown. Like I said, 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 24/7.
For information on Goat Busters, you can contact Goodling at vagoatbusters.com. Reporting in Albemarle County, I'm Sherri McKinney.
We're so glad you could join us to celebrate all the bounty that is Virginia agriculture. From your kitchen to your lawn and garden to our wide open spaces, we're proud to say that this is real Virginia. So from everyone at the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching and make it a good week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay.